What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about Lucasfilm making themselves look dumb yet again. Now, there is a lot. There is an insane amount of virtue signaling going on from a lot of these woke companies and brands. They're taking this horrific opportunity to make themselves seem holier than thou, which is not surprising to anyone like myself that has been paying attention to this stuff for the last several years. And it is awful what is going on right now in our country and our society. It is terrible to watch no matter what side of the political argument that you are on. If you are a person with common sense, and common decency, I would think that we would all look at the situation and just think that it is terrible and it sucks, regardless of, you know, what we think about the politics of the situation. And anyone that is just blatantly celebrating this on either side of the political aisle is not a good person. Now, I do have strong political opinions on this situation. I'm not going to get into those here. That's not what I have Geeks and Gamers for. I will share my political opinions with certain topics when I feel that it is warranted here on the channel, but typically I use my personal channel and my personal Twitter for more direct political opinions. Now, with Lucasfilm, obviously I've been covering Lucasfilm and a lot of these woke companies for years, and Lucasfilm to me is the absolute worst at the virtue signaling, and they have absolutely destroyed their brand with their identity politics. So yesterday, a funny thing happened where they posted this same thing that other companies are posting. EA, Disney, all the big brands, Netflix, they're all doing it. And, I mean, look, again, it is what it is. This is virtue signaling of the highest order. But the funny thing that's happened is the comment section and the people reminding them about how they treated Finn in the posters for foreign countries, specifically for China. Now, Ichibaka posted it here. This one's a bit better quality, so I'm gonna highlight this one. But we all remember this poster where Finn was utilized differently in the China market. And why is that? Well, China aren't big fans of people of color being prominently focused on. They are very much against you know, homosexuality and things of that nature, and Disney bends the knee to them every single time they have to pander a movie, because they don't truly believe in the nonsense that they spew. They will absolutely positively bend the knee to toxicity and bigotry when there is a financial gain. They don't actually believe this stuff. Not only that, but Finn was potentially, like, I like John Boyega. I know John Boyega's out there saying a lot of things right now, and that's his personal opinion, and he's entitled to that. I don't really care what his opinions are. But as I liked him, I thought he was a decent actor in the movie, and I thought that he could have brought something nice to the table with Star Wars, considering, you know, he was a former stormtrooper, and we could have gotten that dynamic. I've seen other people recently talk about it on Twitter, reigniting the discussion about Finn and the fact that he was marketed as a Jedi, but ultimately he was never used as a Jedi. He was only used for marketing, and that is what Lucasfilm does. They will use people for marketing based on their race and their gender and anything that they can virtue signal with, but when the reality of the situation comes into play, Finn was nothing but a throwaway character. In the big scheme of things, he was nothing. He was an irrelevant character, but they marketed him as something more because they knew that that would pull the woke people and the woke marketing into it, and that's exactly what happened. But for them to sit there and put this tweet out, it just continues to show how out of touch with reality this company is. Lucasfilm, they are the definition of racism and sexism. The Force is female. We have people on their staff consistently talking about how there are too many men in the visual effects industry. We have Kathleen Kennedy on record talking about when she went to a Saturday Night Live taping with her husband Frank Marshall, the first thing that she noticed was there wasn't any female camera operators. That's what goes through this woman's mind. When she looks at people through a lens of their gender and their skin color. And she has hired people at Lucasfilm that will represent that. So when they put something like this up, It is absolutely laughable in every possible way, especially because they're going to get the woke Twitter points that they so desperately want. They're going to get all the retweets and all of the favors because that is what Twitter is. But the reality of the situation is, The Force Awakens hit 2 billion and The Rise of Skywalker barely hit 1 billion. You lost over 50% of your audience. Then you have things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe where the Avengers peaked at 1.5, and then then the second one, Age of Ultron, kind of dipped a little bit. Not bad, which was totally understandable. But then when you got to Infinity War and then you got to Endgame, you saw the Marvel Cinematic Universe had grown their audience because they did a good job with the characters and people were anticipating the end. Regardless if I have issues with the MCU, and I do, you can't argue with the success of the MCU. Whereas Lucasfilm lost 50% of their audience because, why? Because they're more interested in race and gender than they are storytelling. And for them to do this is absolutely laughable. Yes, there's a lot going on in the world. Does anybody have the answers? Yes, I think people do. And I might do a video on my personal channel, D-Day Cobra, to talk more about it. I haven't been doing a lot of videos on this channel recently because we are working on the website. That is my primary focus right now, is to launch this website. The plan is for this thing to launch within the next 2 weeks if we can get the little things done. Technically, I could launch it now. It is done. It's done, but it's got some bugs. And again, as I've talked about many times, I don't want people to have an expectation of this is going to be your new Facebook or Twitter or Reddit. It's not that, at least not yet. It's a good start, but you have to understand that I've put my own money into this website, and I've put a significant amount of money by my standards into this website. I have not crowdfunded. Maybe I should have, or maybe I will in the future, so we can maybe build an app or something like that. But this is as good as we can do with our limited resources, and I hope you all enjoy it. It will be launching very soon, and I think we've put together a solid foundation that we can continue to grow as long as we continue to get the support. So I appreciate it. My team appreciates it. We're looking forward to the future. I hope everybody stays safe out there. This is a crazy situation, no matter, again, what side of the political aisle you are on. As long as you are on a common decency, common sense side of this equation, it doesn't really matter whether you fall on the right or the left. But there are extremists on both sides that are misrepresenting a lot of things, in the mainstream media is going to inflame based on their narrative. That is just how it is. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Raylos are weird. Fuck Naughty Dog. And we will talk to you later.